Whether she's meeting with scholarship applicants in a Kenyan town or visiting a microcredit operation in the small Bangladesh village once home to her grandfather, Rita Roy listens carefully to people's stories. As the president and CEO of the MasterCard Foundation, the largest private foundation in Canada, she's particularly committed to learning from young people. We need to engage them, she has said. We need to listen to young people, and we need to ask them for their solutions and how we can design programs that are actually beneficial to them. Depuis son arrivée à la présidence, la Fondation MasterCard a consacré près de 2 milliards de dollars à la formation des jeunes, au développement économique et à la microfinance. La Fondation travaille essentiellement en Afrique, qui compte près de 600 millions d'habitants de moins de 25 ans. Rita Roy knows firsthand the transformative power of education and the importance of hard work. Her mother strongly believed that education was the key to independence, so strongly, in fact, that she took a second mortgage on the family home in Malaysia so that Rita could complete high school in America. Rita continued her studies in the US, graduating from St. Andrew's Presbyterian College, where she earned a Bachelor of Arts, and the Fletcher School of Law and Diplomacy at Tufts University, where she earned a Master of Arts. Throughout her career, and indeed her life, Rita Roy has shown a deep belief in the power of individual self-improvement and what she has called sweat equity, but always with a clear end goal of using knowledge and self-betterment to help your community. After graduation, Rita began her career at the United Nations before joining the private sector. At the Bristol-Myers Squibb Company, she worked on ethical strategies and private-public partnerships to address social problems such as South African apartheid and the AIDS epidemic. She continued to focus on health issues as a vice president of global citizenship and policy at Abbott, where she led HIV/AIDS initiatives. In 2008, Rita Roy became the CEO and president of the fledgling MasterCard Foundation. The foundation has launched many initiatives under Rita's leadership, including in 2012, the MasterCard Foundation Scholars Program, which provides support, financial and otherwise, to academically talented young African leaders who are committed to giving back to their communities. McGill University is privileged to participate in this outstanding and life-transforming initiative. Rita Roy s'est toujours fait un point d'honneur de donner au suivant et d'agir concrètement pour changer le monde, ce qui lui a valu de grands hommages, dont tout récemment le prix des femmes de mérite du YMCA de Toronto. Et bien sûr, McGill lui confère aujourd'hui son honneur le plus insigne. But I have the feeling that as well-deserved as those accolades are, for Rita, the real prize is seeing students whose aspiration she's helping to realize, walk across stages like this one on days like today. Their dreams are her dreams. Their joy is her joy. She has said real success would be if they carry the values of the programs with them: equity, inclusion, solving problems, and being very, very intentional about about helping people who are excluded. If they see that their mission is to break those barriers down, then I know I've done it. C'est pour moi un immense plaisir que j'invite maintenant notre chancelier à conférer à Madame Rita Roy le doctorat en droit honoris causa.
I now invite McGill's most recent graduate, Dr. Rita Roy, to deliver the convocation address. Dr. Roy.
Chancellor Meehan, Principal and Vice Principal, Vice Chancellor Fortier, Mr. Cobbett, Chair of the Board of Governors, Dean of Mayonie, distinguished faculty, distinguished administrators, proud parents, families, friends, and class of 2017. Thank you. I'm thrilled, I'm humbled to be here to accept this degree from McGill, a very fine institution with such a rich history. Graduates, congratulations. I have to say that I loved reading the range of degrees that will be conferred today. And I loved reading about these various focus areas: African studies, world religions, women's studies. I imagine that you've been asked many times, what will you do with your degree? So you can tell Grandma and Aunt Mary to hold off on that question for a little while, because I'd like to share something which I hope will help. As you've heard, my undergraduate degree was in politics, and my graduate degree was in international law and diplomacy. I was asked the same question. Like many dreamers, my plan was to change the world. But I didn't get the job I wanted. I watched my classmates land high-paying jobs as investment bankers or as consultants. I was insecure about my place in the world. The path from there to here was not a straight line. It was a winding road. After graduate school, I worked briefly at the United Nations. And to my surprise, I learned this was not the path for me. After many job interviews and rejections, I was offered a position at a global healthcare company. In fact, Margaret Marashak, who's sitting in the first row, the person who offered me that position, became my mentor and my lifelong friend. And so it is, that's how my corporate journey began. A journey that took me to Africa, to Asia, to Europe. I had never imagined working in a global corporation, and I found that it was an extraordinary classroom. It also took me into the world of public policy, ethics, philanthropy, and social change. So in a very unplanned, unexpected, and wonderful way, I didn't know it, but I was getting ready for my role at the foundation today. My biggest lesson is that I learned to take a bet on myself, and that's my message to you. A bet on yourself isn't just simply about a belief in yourself. It's much more than that. It begins when you give yourself permission to have a dream, to try, to fail, to learn. It's permission to move forward, even when the path is not clear. As Margaret would say to me, Rita, try to make new mistakes. And so with trying, failing, learning, you'll find that you will come to know who you are, to know your values, your strengths, your weaknesses, your passions. And with practice, you will become a better version of yourself. You'll learn when to hold on to your opinions and when to be flexible, when to listen, when to speak up. You'll learn to see value in yourself and value in others. This is a journey that nurtures personal and professional growth. It also nurtures humility, humility to keep us grounded so that we stay curious and open to ideas. Our world measures our worth by money, power, beauty, perhaps the number of followers that we have. I hope that you measure your worth by your intelligence, by your knowledge, by the quality of your relationships, by what you do for others, your creativity, your resilience. These attributes, along with a comfort with ambiguity, an ability to set a vision as your compass, even though you're not sure which path to take. These are attributes which will stand you well in life. These are attributes, these are qualities of leaders. I know it sounds like a lot, like a big risk to take a bet on yourself, but we often underestimate our ability to handle risk. And we often deny the biggest risk of all, which is sticking to the well-traveled path. Something magical happens when you take a bet on yourself. People notice, and soon they take a bet on you. All of you have already taken a leap. You're here. You've invested your time, your energy, your resources, or your parents' resources in being here at McGill. And you have set upon yourself to pursue a degree, a subject that speaks to you. You graduate today from a storied institution, one that has produced Nobel laureates, prime ministers, Grammy winners, astronauts, inventors. It's an institution that has produced thinkers, experimenters, those with courage to leap into the unknown, the unknowable, to challenge tired ideas and to bring forward fresh ones. Our world is changing, and we need thinkers, experimenters like you. Change defines us. Sometimes we can anticipate it, or we can be uneasy about it. Often we look back with nostalgia, with fondness, with discomfort or delight, but I hope we always look back with understanding. We may see change coming, like today, or often it will take us completely by surprise. I believe that change calls for the best in us, to stand firm on our values, in what we believe, to have courage, to be optimistic, and to see opportunity in a world that's complex. Most of all, change calls on us to take a bet on ourselves. Good luck. Thank you.